Welcome to the Prop Market. I'm your host, the Prop King, and today I have my 2024 college football week 3 prop picks. And I don't have a best bet for you, but this will be part two. So I'm super excited. Part one is already posted. I did that on Wednesday, so go back and check that video out so you can kind of get the rationale of the other 10 picks I've made. But I have two great prop picks for you today. I also have a best bet that's still available that hasn't happened yet for on my part one show. We'll have a couple more picks for the NFL coming up pretty soon, so go ahead and look out for that. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with my two prop picks. Don't want to hold you too long today. So the first one's Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State. He has underachieved so far this season. That I do not think that trend will continue. He was one of my highly projected dudes at the beginning of the year. I felt like this dude was going to be a straight up stud in fantasy. He has kind of tailed off. I feel like he has something to prove this week. Oklahoma State is going to feed him the football. They've already said they're going to try to get him on the right track. Playing against a team that Tulsa who cannot stop a soul, I feel like he's going to get this very quickly. I don't see him playing the whole game, but I do see him getting over 136 rush and receiving yards pretty quickly. Um, I also must be honest, the first pick I had on here that I was going to give out was his fantasy score which was set at 23. It has since went up to 25.5. So if any for any reason his fantasy score comes back to 23, go ahead and grab that. But I like this over 136 rushing receiving yards as well. Next guy is Jackson Arnold, Oklahoma. A lot to prove this week. There's been a lot of rumbling going around. People saying he's not as good as he's supposed to be. Oklahoma offense is struggling. I don't believe any of that. His passing average is not great, but he will improve, and he has a lot of great weapons around him. Former five-star Gatorade Player of the Year, he'll figure it out. Projected fantasy score at 22.5. It's important to understand he has 6 touchdowns, has 3 touchdowns per game, which is good in fantasy. He also has carried the ball 22 times. Now, some of these things are sacks baked into it, but I still really like his number here. I like it over 21 fantasy score. I think he's a weapon, and the weapons around him will just clear this number very easily. I think it'll be a lot different than last week. A recap, McLeod, we've already cashed for this week. Castellanos went down to 215. At one point, it was at 210, so go ahead and grab that. Shador Sanders over 306, kind of high. Now it's at like 320, so I don't feel comfortable betting that anymore, his passing yards. But I do like his fantasy score at 22.5. If you can get it at 23, possibly. DJU over 202. His numbers kind of stay the same. It might be at like 200 right now. Uh, we got Daniels over 218. He was the bust for this week. Don't think I'll ever pick him again. It looks like he forgot how to play football. Jackson Arnold over 21 fantasy score. I love it. I love this number. I'm gonna definitely smash that number. Avery Johnson already cashed for us. Milrow over 216 passing yards now. It's a little higher. It's at 220. Still a bettable pick. Card over 196 passing yards. I like this number for him. It's staying pretty standard, so I'm gonna stay with that. McMillan over 96.5. He already cashed. And Burden over 68.5. Hopefully he cashes tomorrow. And then Gordon over 136 rush and receiving yards. If you enjoyed this video, if you found any of this information useful, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be your tour guide throughout the college and NFL football season. I also going to have a lot of college basketball and NBA picks when the time comes. So like I always say, keep what you like, leave what you don't, and let's cash.